As I have said many, many times, Social Security is one of the most successful, if not the most successful program in the modern history of the United States. Just think about it. Despite all of the upturns and downturns in our economy in the United States in the last 75 years, Social Security has not once failed to pay out every nickel owed to every eligible American. Now, we take that for granted, but that is rather a significant accomplishment, and they do that with minimum administrative cost. The other point to be made is despite a lot of noise out there and misstatement of reality, Social Security today has a surplus of $2.6 trillion, can pay out every benefit for the next 26 years, at which point it would pay out about 77% of benefits, something that we have to address in the near future. And further and most important, Social Security, because it is funded by the payroll tax, not the U.S. Treasury, has not contributed one nickel to our deficit. So I believe very strongly that Social Security is the bedrock of retirement security in this country, and that it must be vigorously defended. I am chairman of a committee called the Defending Social Security Caucus here in the Senate, and I will do everything that I can to make sure that there are not cuts in Social Security or a raising of the retirement age. What happened back in 1982, I believe it was, President Reagan and Tip O'Neill reached an agreement which called for higher payroll taxes, among other things. And that agreement laid the foundation for where we are today, which is that Social Security has a $2.6 trillion surplus. In my view, Bob, the solution to the problem is not to raise the retirement age, to tell people that they're going to have to be working, pounding nails or waiting on tables when they're 68 or 69 years of age, which I think is really absurd. The solution is to lift the cap on taxable income into Social Security. That is something that President Obama campaigned on when he was running for president. He suggested, and I agree with him, that you start at $250,000. So right now, if somebody makes $10 million a year and somebody makes $106,000 a year, they're both contributing the same amount into the Social Security Trust Fund. That does not make sense to me. You lift the cap, you have solved the problem probably for the next 50 or so years.